Okay, how do you become successful in direct sales? This actually comes from a good friend of mine that's $200,000 away from $1 million. We just got done talking. That's what he's earned within his company. 200,000 away from earning $1 million. Congratulations, by the way, Twan and Van Wyn out in California. And what he said was people come up to him all the time and ask him, how do you do it? How did you become successful doing this? And, I thought it was a great question. I asked him, what's one of the questions you get all the time? And because he's become successful, people tend to forget that everybody started at one point. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jeff Gamble. I have a background in traditional business and was a former network marketer. I'm currently a John C. Maxwell speaker, trainer, and coach. And what we're going to talk about today is how do you become successful inside of direct sales, network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it. And there's a couple things that you're going to have to learn. Basically. Number one is you're going to have to become a humble student. You're going to have to become a student. You're going to have to learn a lot. Always be, reading. Always be listening. Always show up early. Always get on every call, always get on every webinar, always go to every event. And when you are at these events, have a notebook. I have a notebook that I keep for every single thing I do. This is my John C. Maxwell notebook, and you probably can't see it because the lighting, but it says 2616. This is the notebook that I kept my notes in. All of these are notes from all the different videos, going to the events, and this is just one notebook. This was for that month because the other notebook got what? Filled up. So you want to take notes. You want to be a humble student. Number two, you want to learn and master the basics of recruiting. How do you got to build a business. You don't get to $800,000. Here's the thing. You don't get to $800,000 in income by selling a product. 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. You got to build a team. You got to build a big team. You got to have leverage. And, my friend Twan and Van have built a significant team. At one point, they told me some numbers, and I was just like, wow, that's a big team. So they've got things cranking. They've got things moving. They have people who know what they're doing. How did they do that? If we go way back, learn and mastering the basics. Twan and Van learns the basics of how to recruit, meaning how to bring in one person onto the team. It doesn't mean nobody knew what to do with that person when we got them, especially the first time, but eventually we did. But what you have to do in the beginning is learn the basics of recruiting. Learn to contact, learn to invite, learn to present, learn to close, learn third party, and learn how to get people to events. You got to learn those basic things, not necessarily in that order. Everybody's company has a different way of doing it, but those are the steps basically that you have to learn. Next, once you get people in, everybody's like, that's the hardest part is getting them in. No, it's not. The next part is more fun. The next part is, and that's step 3, after you're a humble student and after you learn the basics of recruiting, now you have to learn what to do with them. Number 3 is learn and master the basics of helping other people get their first recruit. It's called team building. And that is a whole nother skill. How to basically, at this point, that's how you become relatable, trustworthy, because people like doing business with people they know, people they like, and people they trust. People they know, people they like, and people they trust. If they don't know you, it'll be very hard for them to like you. It'll be very hard for them to trust you. If they know you and they don't trust you, then they're probably not going to like you, and they're not going to let you help them. People are like, why won't anybody let me help them? I'm like, there's probably a reason. It may be you. People like, I've sponsored 800 people, and nobody will let me help them. Then it's you. It's definitely you. Especially if you have that many people in and nobody will let them help you. But, a lot of people are like, what do I do? That's where here's the thing. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on your business. Because if you work harder on yourself, the business becomes easier. It's very cool. What I've always found is every single book that I've read has allowed me to relate to one more different kind of person. I remember reading the 21 Laws of Leadership, and all of a sudden there was a couple more people that I was able to relate to. And then I read Winning with People, and that allowed me to relate to a bunch of other people. Failing Forward allowed me to relate to more people. I was able to connect. And that's another good one. Everybody communicates, few connect. That was a big eye-opener. There was a lot of people I was able to connect with. Mainly, I was able to connect with myself and figure out what I was doing, in my own head wrong. Because, everybody talks to themselves, and people are like, I don't talk to myself. Yeah, you do. That was the one right there when you go, I don't. Now, if you start having that conversation with yourself, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, there's a whole nother group of self-help books that you need. But just the basic one that's always there when you're like, should I, could I, would I? You're sitting there going, I know I should do this, and I should get up, and I should read a book, and I should go in, and pretty soon you're shoulding all over yourself, and that's awful. So what you want to do is plug into some of these ideas. Be a humble student. Learn and master the basics of recruiting. Learn and master how to help other people recruit, which is basically setting up a game plan, if you don't know how to do that, or some people call it a launch, some people call it, there's all different kinds of things, but basically getting somebody started. How do you get somebody started? How do you have those first conversations? How do you get that initial list? How do you contact that initial list? And how do you go get them, watch this, how do you go get them 1 to 3 recruits? 1 to 3. Because if you can help everybody get 1 recruit, then your business starts moving. If you can help everybody get 1 to 3 recruits, your business really starts, it seems so slow. And network marketing in the beginning, it seems so slow. And then all of a sudden it's like you have 900 people that joined this month, and you're like, how did that happen? Because you learned how to get 1 and then turn around and taught somebody else how to get 1. And now there's a whole lot of other people that go out and get 1 to 3 recruits. In fact, if you look at all the statistics and all the charts, you rarely have somebody that brings in 15 people in 1 month, but you have a bunch of people that are bringing 1 to 3 recruits. So look at your reports. If you don't have reports, they're probably somewhere in the back office. But if you look statistically across the board at network marketing, it's 1 to 3. Recruits a month. Just help a lot of people do that, and all of a sudden the business it's a runaway business in other countries all around the world. So learn the next. Okay, so number 4 is learn and master the basics of promotion. Promoting is how we're going to get all of these people to the call, to the webinar, to the event, to the home event, to the one-on-one, to the mastermind that you're doing. Whatever you're doing, promotion. And what I've always found is the easiest way to promote to people is just ask them this in the very beginning. Say, do I have your permission to keep you informed on everything we're doing and everything that's happening? Because sometimes there's a lot of stuff going on, and I just want your permission to be able to call you or text you, whichever is easiest, to let you know what's going on. I always call them, by the way. I always try to ask, it would be okay for me to call you, and most people are like, if you ask for their permission and they say yes, I say good. I will always inform you until you tell me that it's not okay. And what that did is that took kind of all the anxiety off of me to be able to pick up the phone and call everybody, because I just wanted their permission. And once I had their permission, I was like, well, they told me it's cool. I'll call them 700 times if I need to, until they tell me no, and I've had some people, hang up and, hey, stop calling me. I've had them email, I've had them text. You just got to get over that. I haven't had anybody move that I know of, but I'm sure eventually there's going to be some people who are just like, I just don't want to be involved in this. I'm going to move away. And that's fine, because we'll go recruit somebody else. So be humble, learn and master the basics of recruiting, learn and master the basics of helping other people recruit, learn and master the basics of promotions, and last, learn and master the basics of building event to event, building and getting people to events. Guys, if you want to make a lot of money in this business, you probably have an event coming up in the next 90 to 120 days. In the next 90 to 120 days. So all of the stuff you're doing, everything you're learning, all the activity you're doing, everything is basically going into that event. And then after that event, everything you do after that event is going into the next event. But you're always consistently building from event to event. And one thing that I know is my friends, Tuan and Van, have mastered is their students. I've seen his books, I've seen the libraries, I've seen them both studying. I know they have a calendar, so I know they're into massive, massive activity, both personal and team activity. So they've learned and mastered the basics of recruiting because I've seen some of the people they bring in. I've also seen them helping other people recruit in different events and things like that. I know that they know how to promote because I've seen that done. And I know they know how to build from event to event because when they're at events, I see the pictures of their people at the events. So with that, guys, that's basically how you get this done. Get a lot of people to do a little bit over a long enough period of time. So you just need to get a lot of people to do a little bit over a long enough period of time. Now, can you do that in 30 days? No. Can you do that in 90 days? It can start to happen in 90. Can you do that over 6 months, 12 months, 24 months? Guys, I was told it's a 2 to 5 year business. It's a 2 to 5 year business. If you're not really willing to give it 5 years, you're probably not going to really make a lot of money. But if you're willing to give it 5 years and you just learn the first year and you start to learn to recruit the second year, you'll start to make money. The third year, when you really break through and you teach other people to recruit, that's where you really start making money. The promotion thing, the fourth year, it'll be runaway. And if you learn the event thing within 5 years, I can tell you all my friends that have figured it out have went full time. Not all of them have needed 6 figures to walk away. Some of them at 50,000, they're like, I'm done. 50 grand, I'm out. We have another great networker that says I'd rather make 50,000 residual than I would 100,000 being at the office all day. 50,000 residual is nice because you can go do something else. So with that, guys, I appreciate everybody for watching. Go to my channel, WorkWith JeffGamble, like it. You'll see videos like this consistently. I ask people in the industry who are doing really well, questions that they're getting what they have, and we'll discuss it. We come up with some ideas, and I shoot the video and put it out there. So I appreciate everybody for watching. Like this video, share it with somebody who needs it, and we'll talk to everybody real soon.